we made a pretty big change. We moved halfway across the world, and I think we expected that move to just bring a certain kind of clarity. Like, we knew exactly what this next part of our life was going to look like, and it freaking didn't.
You know, maybe like you, we're still figuring out what we want to be when we grow up, and that's what we want to talk about today. Hi, I'm Cliff.
And I'm Cheryl.
And this is Closer to Happy. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button because that really helps us out.
Yeah, thanks.
At this point in life, we really thought that everything would be dialed in, that we would know exactly what we were doing and that we would have our plans all laid out. Like we would just know how to do this. And the reality is we really don't, and we're not alone. We have friends saying the same things to us.
I always thought, especially when I was younger, right? Like when I hit a certain age, I for sure would reach, not enlightenment, because no, but that I would have a really clear sense of what this next chapter of my life was going to look like.
Right.
And
there's really no reason we should have thought we'd know that, though. Because this is not something any of us really
Now
know.
it's clear that there is no reason that I should have believed that, but I did always believe it in my heart of hearts.
Yeah.
And it's been a really big surprise to find out that
We're clueless.
we're clueless and we're winging it. And the other thing that is comforting, I think, is in talking to more and more of our friends, more people that we meet here in Spain, our friends at home, family, everybody feels the same way.
Yeah.
Nobody is really feeling like, okay, this is for sure what I'm doing in the last stage and what my purpose is.
Yeah. Because in your previous life up till now, you knew the markers. And here we don't, because the game has changed and we don't really know what that game is. And so we know, I think we all know, that we're supposed to be evolving as humans and we're supposed to do this differently than we did that. But what exactly does that mean? And who are you going to be in this chapter? And that's, I think, kind of where we're at right now.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that.
If you have the answer to that, if you could just put it in the comments.
Wait, there's Gandhi just responded in our text.
There we go.
You know how changing environments usually really changes the way that you experience the environment. We just assumed that by moving to Spain, it was going to, I don't know, give us everything we needed to understand how we were going to be living in Spain, because we thought, well, we'll get there and we're just going to figure it out. And it's not happening quite as fast as we thought or in exactly the same way that we thought, but you know, I think it's an evolution that we're still in the middle of. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think, when, like I said in the beginning, I feel like when we moved here, I thought, okay, that's where we're heading. That's when we made all the plans and did all the work to move here. I felt like, okay, that's where we're going. That's what this next chapter looks like. It's adventure. It's living in another place. It's
tapas.
Tapas, yeah. It's going to feel a certain way. And we got here and it's been fabulous. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of the bigger questions of what do I want the rest of my life to look like? What do I want? How do I want to create meaning? How do I want to create purpose? I don't know that I'm that much closer. And I guess the questions essentially stayed the same.
We just don't understand them because they're in Spanish.
Yeah, that's true. One of the things that we've been talking about a lot is what stopped feeling rewarding and when. Like when, what changed for you? Do you remember? Like, was there like an aha moment of everything changing?
Well, I think leading up to us leaving the company and going initially to Portugal was that I realized that I was spending like 20 hours a day thinking about work and achievement and productivity and accomplishments and making money for the company and making money, I guess, for us. And that was really my focus, to the point where it felt like gross. It started feeling a little gross. And also I was really stressed out. I realized that when we finally did walk away and turn off the phones and stop checking email, which was a revelation because I don't think we had ever done that, I was shocked at how much better it felt immediately. So I would have thought, and I think our friends thought the same thing, that I would start jonesing for, like, oh my God, I've got to check emails and be on conference calls. That's not what happened. I immediately felt like this is healthier. So that was one thing that I thought was an immediate shift was, oh, my focus doesn't have to be on the hustle so much. So then I just enjoyed myself. We enjoyed ourselves. And then all of a sudden, you get to this normalcy of being in this new environment, and you don't have to hustle quite as hard. So what are you going towards? And initially, it was, well, let's just explore, in this case, Spain. Let's go out a lot, let's explore, let's meet people, let's see what it's like, let's learn Spanish, let's get our Spanish driver's license. But eventually, that's like 20 videos from now.
Someday.
Yeah, and let's, do that part of, like, we have achieved integration in Spain. But what we're feeling, and this is kind of what we're talking about right now, is that the goals from the hustle days have changed, and initially it was about getting used to everything in Spain, but now what? And now it feels like that's changing a little bit, and I think that's really what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're talking, yes, I think that's changed, and I think that just overall, when you pull back and say, okay, what does this next part mean? Like, what does it mean? What gives us purpose? I mean, yes, exploring Spain is fabulous, and we're having a really good time doing it.
And walking dogs is fun.
Walking dogs is great, but overall, what is our purpose for this next part of the game?
I think this game is probably, as everyone in the world, everyone watching this that's at around our phase of life, you do need to start giving back your wisdom. Like, what have you learned that you can help people that are coming up to, help them do what they're trying to do better? And that's, I think, a natural part of being a parent, which I love that part of parenting. And now that the kids kind of don't need that, maybe it's about finding people that we can help that are on the way up, that are more like open to talking, to getting more open to our opinions than our kids.
Maybe there's someone out there who's more interested in our opinions than our kids. I'm going to say that there is.
That could be. That might be the goal here, is to find our stunt kids that can help us figure out our purpose.
But it is, but there's, we read that book, I remember a while ago, that was talking about specifically growing, you build, you're in build mode for most of your adult life, and then that shifts, and the biology shifts, our physiology shifts, our brain shift. We're no longer like in that zone. It's too hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
And I know, the last couple of years that I was working were literally the worst 2 years of my professional life.
Yeah.
Maybe because we worked for some people who were not aligned with us, but
who are not sponsoring this video.
We're not
you might
sponsoring this video.
But one of the things that I'm finding, and maybe you guys are feeling this way too, is that it's not a clean delineation. It's not like all of a sudden you're in this new mode. Oh, I'm in teacher mode. I'm in wisdom mode. I'm going to go help people, achieve their dreams because of the knowledge that I have from the business path I've been on. I'm somewhere in the middle where I kind of weave back and forth. And sometimes I'm feeling like I do miss that, that younger version of me that was in that hustle mode, because I love creating and I love the stuff I create, and I still do that. I still love writing, I still love playing music, I still love recording, I still love all the things that are in the creative arts. Creativity is part of my bloodline, that if I don't do it, I feel weird. So I have to figure out how to do what I did that made me happy and full and have purpose, but do it in this new chapter. And I haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm sort of in this like vacillation. And some days I kind of go back and go, ooh, I feel like I'm missing a little something because I'm not doing what I did, because I haven't figured out how to fill that gap in this phase, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's like not having clarity about where you're heading specifically or what you should be doing feels like a personal failure, because we've spent so much time being really clear, really motivated, really like, have a clear direction of where we're going in our lives. And now that's shifted, and
Yeah.
it does. It can feel like a personal failure.
It really is like an adolescence, another kind of adolescence that is, we are not what we're going to be and we're not what we were. And so we're in that awkward adolescence phase, but in an older age, and maybe, we're not quite as physically awkward, or maybe we are, but we haven't quite gotten to the next phase. I think one of the issues is that if we're comparing ourselves to what we were and the way we were, then we're using the wrong scoreboard, and the metrics have changed, right?
And I think like for me, I have definitely had a tendency to beat myself up for not being as productive as I used to be.
Yeah,
right.
right.
And that's not productive.
So that's the middle ground I was saying that I haven't landed on yet, because you do have to not define productivity in the same way, or you do feel like you're coming up short.
I think if you're being hard on yourself, you really need to take a look at what you're comparing yourself to.
Right. Yeah. If you compare yourself to your 30-year-old self, you're not going to win. But
that's not true, because you're better in a lot of ways.
I mean, you're not going to win if you do it from all the same metrics from them. But if you do it from like, I'm wise now, I know better than to worry about this. I know better than to let these kind of people into my life. I know better than to chase this dream when I know that that dream isn't really aligned with who I am inside. These things are what you learn as you get older. That if you could go back and talk to yourself as the younger self, you wouldn't say, hey dude, work even harder. You would be saying, wow, you're like, you're kind of wasting some energy here, and it's a little unhealthy for you.
What feels surprisingly okay about not having everything figured out is that, I don't know, in this stage, I'm okay with not knowing most of the time.
Right.
Not all of the time.
Right.
Most of the time. I'm okay with not feeling that I have to accomplish every minute of every day. And if I haven't checked everything off of my to-do list by the end of the day, that I'm not a complete failure. And it's really, it's quite a big shift in thinking.
Yeah. It's also what you put on your to-do list.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that's one, the old to-do lists I used to make are much different than the ones I make now. And so you do have to be conscious of that. But yeah, you don't need to achieve 50 things, but you do want to make sure that what you do achieve is what really matters to you.
Right. I think that's a very good point. I think at the end of the day, I have less need for answers and just more general curiosity about what this next part of life looks like.
And I would love to hear from you guys how this is unfolding for you. Because, we're all figuring this out together. So, do comment. Like, let us know what you're thinking about this, because I think we're both very curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you like this video, if it's helpful in any way, if it resonates in any way, please like and subscribe and comment, because we really do want to hear from you.
Yeah.
And we will see you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao.